You see his face, you see the face on him there as he's getting his silver medal, and I'm all for that because sportsmanship is fine, but there's nothing wrong with being a bit of a bad loser sometimes. So into welterweight.
Into the ring, to the red corner, from Ukraine, Yury Zakharyiev.
So this is Yury Zakharyiev of Ukraine making his way to the ring. Two-time European youth champion. Was up against Danny Lafos-Pol of Cuba in the semi-finals, and he outmuscled him really, outgunned him, kind of roughed him up slightly. Had a really good fight against Summit of India earlier in the competition. Big unit of a fighter, Summit. And Zakharyiev was happy to stand and trade with him, stand and meet him. So he's a formidable kind of competitor. Fancies his chances, basically, I think, of having a bit too much firepower for anybody. In Ashalaev here, we've got a European youth silver medalist. He's just a good all-round fighter. I've seen him a lot. He's one of these fighters who likes to just be right, I was going to say on the edge of range, but in the pocket really. So you're not right up close, but you're only 2 or 3 feet maximum away from each other, looking to try and make each other make mistakes, to set those little traps, to draw leads. I think that's the kind of fight we're going to see here. He's a clever fighter, Ashalaev, and has had some good wins himself, including against Alakon Abdullayev of Uzbekistan in the semi-final. So our judges from India, Hungary, Guatemala, Mongolia and Italy. And this yet another really good matchup. Ukraine against Russia. Ashalaev with just a little bit of height on Zakharyiev, I think. You get the impression with Ashalaev, who I've seen more of than I have Zakharyiev, that he's a big occasion kind of performer, that the higher the pressure, the more he likes it. But equally, I think that's true of the fighter in red as well. So Zakharyiev of Ukraine in red, Ashalaev of Russia in blue. This is the welterweight final. Halfway through this finals day, so both of them quickly to the center of the ring, and unusually, we have 2 orthodox fighters up against each other here. And as I said, look at Ashalaev there. This is where he likes to be. He likes that front foot to be on top of you, to be in your space, making you feel like he's crowding you, like you've got to do something, like you've got to work to keep him off. He always looks like he's about to throw something, like he's posing that kind of threat, and looking for a big overhand right there, Zakharyiev, and again, didn't quite get through with it. But you just see how Ashalaev there, like I said, just by using that front foot, just by engaging in the way that he does, puts his opponent just onto the back foot and gives him the appearance of kind of being the boss in there, like he's the one setting the agenda. Looking for a right hand there, Ashalaev, didn't quite manage to land it. Again, just shuffling in. Zakharyiev every now and again looking a little bit hurried, but that's good upper body movement from him there, and trying to stick that right hand upstairs, flicking it up from the waist. Turn southpaw now, the Russian fighter Ashalaev. The two just come together. This is something he does fairly often. Left hand, straight left hand, I think did get through. Left hand to the body. But that was a nice combination, although it landed on gloves, and then a little roll out to the left-hand side from Zakharyiev, who definitely got a left hand through to the body there. So these two look pretty evenly matched early on. Both of them working hard. Not too much clean getting through as we just tick up towards the final minute of round 1. Good combination there from Zakharyiev. A left hand that started it, landed to the body, and then maybe the final punch, the 2 or 3 in the middle, as Ashalaev was just backing up, were again just blocked by the forearms. Rapid hands on the inside there from Ashalaev. A couple of scoring punches there, and he's looking to go downstairs with the left, but again, there's that effective right hand from Zakhariev, but he walks on to a left, and this just warming up a bit in the final minute of the first round. The kind of round that you would say at the minute is still up for grabs if one of these two can provide a good finish. Something like that, really nice stiff 1-2 delivered from the perfect range there. Just really dug his toes in on that one, Zakhariev as well, but Ashalayev comes back with a left, overbalances a bit as he looks to throw his own right there, and the two just fall in right towards the end of the first round. Nice left to the body there too from Zakhariev of Ukraine in the red. Again, leads off with that right hand. Was a little bit slow with it that time, but throws a right to the body, then a left upstairs, and this has been a good finish to the round from Zakhariev. A strong finish, and for me, it's probably done enough to take it.
I agree. I think that strong conclusion to the opening round from Zakhariev with his punch picking, often without reply, would have been enough to take it, but he's only taken it for Judge 8. The other 4 observers seeing that in favor of the Russian boxer, who was on the front foot, edging forwards, giving the impression that, as you say, he was the governor up there in the boxing ring. But Zakhariev with that strong conclusion to the round, only taking it for one of the judges. He possesses terrific hand speed, but it's just steady pressure that is applied by the switch hitter wearing blue. And oftentimes when Zakhariev was either getting through or made to miss, then let's not make any mistake, because in the prior 2 minutes 30, was very educated pressure being applied, not incessant. He's always in punching range for himself. Is the man in blue.
So 4-1 for Ashalayev in that opening round. I think Zakhariev is unfortunate there to lose it by that margin. I thought the strong finish to the round, for me, made him a clear enough round winner. So he's got it all to do in this second round here. They get the scores in the corner right at the start of the minute break between rounds, so the coaching staff will know exactly what's happened. How much they communicate to the boxer, of course, is their choice. They know how to motivate their fighter in the best way possible, but he's got to go out and win this second round now. Ashalayev, as Ron rightly pointed out there, and I was talking about it at the start of the round, takes that space, he crowds his opponent, he makes you back up, he makes you look a little bit flustered, a little bit hurried, a little bit panicky, and he definitely did that in the early stages, particularly the opening minute of that first round. Launching a big 1-2 there, Zakhariev, and then catches Ashalayev with a left hand as the Russian came in there. Decent jab from the Ukraine fighter, and again there, and that's what he needs to do, because you just saw that left hand, it didn't land hard, it didn't land heavy, but it just sent Ashalayev just sprawling off to his left-hand side. He's lost his balance completely, then he has to get himself back together and start again. Left hand on the inside there from Ashalayev, just looking to hold his feet a little bit more. Zakhariev onto his shoulder, just pushing him back into the ropes. Midway point of the fight. This second round, as I said, always absolutely critical in terms of the scoring. And Zakhariev is under pressure to win this one, and he'll be aware of it. He'll be aware enough of it. And Ashalayev just tying him up on the inside there. So they do a little bit of a dance towards the neutral corner. Nice 1-2 on the outside there from Zakhariev. I don't think either one of them landed heavy. I think one did get through though. Looking for right hands on the inside into the final minute. Exchange up close. Left hand from Ashalayev, but that's a decent 1-2, and again there. Landed by Zakhariev, who looks to try and ram home that right to the body, but he just got perfect distance there. Let his hands go, good balance, got the hands back real quick after he landed them, and then did exactly the same thing again. Good right hand on the inside there too, and like the first round, he is having the better finish to this second. If he can keep this up, will this be enough to get it on enough of the cards to make sure that this is live, really, a live contest going into the third round? Because this is very similar to the first round that we saw. He's dominating this final 30 seconds. He's 100% won this third minute. It's just a question of how the judges really have interpreted the prior two. And after the first round, I wouldn't really like to guess.
Well, he swept it across the board. A terrific response from Zakhariev. And for my money, what made the difference there, in addition to his greater industry, so just to give you context, it's all square for 4 of the 5 judges. Judge A has scored both of the completed rounds in favor of Zakhariev. So this man ceded the momentum to Zakhariev after a terrific response from the Ukrainian boxer. But for my money, the difference in that second round was the hand speed of the man in red. Able to land, see an exchange of shots there, but more often than not, whether it was singles or combinations, he was able to consistently beat his man to the punch, particularly in that final minute, and escape without a counter. Now, make no mistake, Ashalaev is always going to be competitive, but I thought it was the hand speed that was the significant difference in that second round. Will Zakhariev be able to maintain it?
So Zakhariev of Ukraine in the red, Ashalaev of Russia in the blue. Good 1-2 again there from Zakhariev, followed by the jab. So he's got the slight advantage heading into round 3 because he's got a 2-point lead with one of the judges. The other 4 cards are level, so he needs 2 out of those 4 to go his way. His opponent, Ashalaev, needs 3 out of those 4. Just short with the 1-2 there, Zakhariev. But then just leads off with the left hand there, just slung that up from the waist and managed to land it. Working the hands, moving forward. Again, the fighter in red, his feet crossed a little bit there, stands square, dancing from side to side. As the two just again hold on the touch. In centre ring, Ashalaev with a little bit of a tired looking right hand himself there. He kind of threw that and then wandered after it.
Keep your head up. Box.
This is the end of a long, hard tournament for all of these fighters. You've got the nervous energy of a final, you've got the ring lights, it's hot up there, the pressure, the expectation, all of these things by the time you get into the 3rd round. And these young athletes, remember, it takes its toll. And really now, this is just a question almost of who wants this more as much as it is of boxing technique. Good left hand there from Zakhariev. Ashalaev just leaning in a little bit there, trying to let his hands go. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot of pop on the punches here of Ashalaev. Zakhariev, on his part, winds up with a right hand to the body. Just before that, he managed to land a left hand, and midway through round 3, it's the Ukrainian who is looking stronger in this 3rd session. Left hand there, though, from Ashalaev, as he just moves off to his left. Ashalaev, for the most part, though, throwing a single shot, maybe a couple, and then having to step off. And Zakhariev just pins him with a 1-2 again there. High to the top of the head. 1 minute remaining. Zakhariev in the red, boxing for Ukraine. Ashalaev of Russia in the blue. Just a slip there from Zakhariev. Again, just leads off with a jab, lands it, moves in and wraps his man up. And then just walks him back towards the ropes, tries to disengage and get to work. Sneaky little trick, but the referee hadn't intervened or said anything, so nothing wrong with it. Just short with the left hand there, Ashalaev, who's working really hard right to the end here. He's still on that front foot. He's still trying to make things happen, letting his hands go, but there's a much more weary look about him, I would say, than there is about Zakhariev. Remember, 1 card up. A 2-point lead on that card. The other 4 level going into this 3rd and final round. So Zakhariev needed to turn 2 of those 4 cards his way. Ashalaev needs to turn 3 of them his way. And Ashalaev just trying to put on a flurry towards the end of the round there. But for my money, that's a red corner win.
Yep, I'm inclined to agree, Andy. I thought well, first of all, kudos to both men because they gave absolutely everything, but I thought the man in red lasted the 3rd round more effectively than did Ashalaev. I thought Ashalaev was a little bit more languid with his punches, whereas Zakhariev was able to maintain his crispness for a greater portion of that 3rd round. You saw how he tottered into the ropes just before the bell to end the contest. Both men gave absolutely everything in pursuit of victory, but I think it's the man in red who did the better work in the course of that 3rd round.
Win on points, win split decision. From the red corner, Yury Zakhayev.
Well, the red corner gets it, and for where we were sitting, that's the right decision. So he's got it 4-1. He had that 20-18 advantage, of course, so he will have kept that card and he will have won 3 of those cards that were poised at 19-19 heading into that final round. Real disappointment there on the face.